Tonight on It's the Law, we're talking about two big outcomes of two big cases, one national and one local. The releasing of the Newtown 911 calls and an election redo in Macon-Bibb County. Here to weigh in is our legal expert, Jay Davis. All right, Jay, let's start with the local case. We'll refresh everyone's memory. Last week, a judge ruled a do-over for the Macon-Bibb County District 2 commission race. That's because at least 50 people were not registered in the right district and couldn't vote in the runoff. Now, do you think the judge made the right call?
Absolutely. You remember you and I talked about this on this show a while back, months ago, on what would this happen.
Right.
And the difference is if the amount of people who were missing from it, in this case at least 50, was more than the amount that the winning margin was by, then it needs to be redone. And the judge made the right call on that.
So in this case, then, you don't think that any other of those races will be contested because the margin wasn't that wide?
I think that's the thing. It's not just, and now we talked about the fact that some of these voters were going to feel disenfranchised because their vote didn't count.
Right.
But the bottom line, legally and for all the cost associated with it, to redo the election, do all that's required with that, needs to be justified by, can it change the outcome? And here you have somebody winning by 26 votes and 50 votes weren't counted. Now in District 3, there was 50 extra votes in there. Had that call been that close as well, then that election should have been pulled as well. But if that
it wasn't, so we were okay for that one. All right, let's kind of move on to our national case. A little bit of a more sensitive subject. The judge ordered that the 911 tapes from Newtown will be released to the public. Now, do you think that was the right call?
That's also absolutely the right decision. Now, you know, a lot of times here, I take issue with what judges are doing and that type of stuff.
Right.
In both of these cases, the judges made the right call. It's about a year old on these calls coming out. Some people, it's still a sensitive matter for a lot of people. But these calls are public record. There's Freedom of Information Act, which allows you to access public record without good cause on why that's withheld. Some sort of strategic thing, some sort of planning thing, those don't apply here. So the release of those calls is correct.
So you feel like maybe if the judge had withheld those calls, he might have, hit more hurdles than releasing them?
Well, I mean, they were making a call. Originally, it had to be released through the internal workings of the 911 and that type of stuff. And once that was done and the decision was made, then the challenge is based on freedom of information. They were trying to argue that there are certain cases like children, exploitation of children and that type of thing where you wouldn't release the information. And the state was trying to argue that this was similar to those, and it's just not. It's not. It's something, this is a wide issue. The public has a right to know and understand what happened in their police force.
All right, and what's coming up this weekend?
This weekend we're talking about tax and how this new health care is going to affect what your taxes are for the next year.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be the new thing everybody needs to be listening to.
All right, this is a big topic, and remember, you can catch Jay and his legal experts every Saturday on My 41.2. That's at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And on Sunday right here on 41 NBC at 6 in the evening. And don't forget, if you've got a legal question for Jay, you can email us at itsthelaw@41nbc.com. And of course, we will answer it right here on the news at 6.